Well, the macroeconomic picture seems to be showing signs of improvement. The dual challenges of the tariff war and sluggish domestic demand remain. With a new president in place, South Korean businesses are hoping for a return to stability following a turbulent 6 months after former President Yoon Suk Yeol's failed bid to declare martial law. Focus now turns to how Lee Jae-myung will manage U.S. tariffs, fulfill his election promise of more business-friendly policies, and stimulate growth. One firm with a front row seat to all of this is Lotte Corporation, the fifth largest conglomerate in South Korea, with its key business areas spanning food, retail, chemicals, construction, manufacturing, tourism, service, and finance. And we're joined now by Samuel Sanghyun Kim. He's Vice Chairman and Group CEO of Lotte Retail Group. Sam, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us this morning. So, new president, Mr. Lee Jae-myung of the Democratic Party. Now, in his victory speech, he's promised to reboot South Korea's economy. And during the campaign, he also promised more business-friendly policies and to stimulate demand and growth. How does Lotte assess the near to mid-term investment climate in South Korea under this new administration?
Good morning, Liz. Thanks for having me in. As you mentioned, we have had a lot of uncertainties over the last 6 months due to the political instabilities. Now that President Lee has been elected and given his commitment to stimulate the economy and bring more consumer confidence back, we believe this is we'll have a growing optimism over the investment climate here in Korea. In particular, I think there are two key areas that will really bring more attention. One, of course, is a continually growing demand and interest over everything that's about K these days, whether it's K-beauty, K-food, and K-fashion. And Lotte Retail is very well poised to ensure that we can bring best customer experience throughout all the diverse products and retail formats we have. Second of all, Korea is one of the most advanced digital climate in the world. As you know, Korea is the first economy that has crossed over 50% in e-commerce. And again, we're leveraging AI technology with Lotte Mart's new shopping app, and we're building e-grocery platform with Ocado Solutions that will enable us to continue to attract investors' confidence and attention to what we do here in Korea.
So what kind of policy support would you like to see for South Korean corporations like yours?
Well, I think we obviously, as you mentioned, the inflation has been a bit of a challenge, particularly given the questions around the tariffs, as well as the economic depression that we have seen. So I think it will be great to work with government to ensure that we can actually continue to stimulate the customer confidence that will enable them to be able to take more advantage of what's available here. Second of all, I think there's opportunity for us to have a more deregulated environment so that our retail formats can further accelerate growth here in Korea, as well as they start to go overseas.
Yeah, tariffs are undoubtedly the biggest, I think, issue for governments around the world and businesses as well. I mean, what is the extent of Lotte Retail, Lotte Group's exposure to the U.S. market in terms of exports and investments? I mean, what are some areas of vulnerability for the business, and how is the company navigating that? I mean, have you had to make any changes to the business? How have the recent tariffs kind of influenced Lotte's investment priorities or long-term growth strategies as well?
That's a great question, Liz. I think when it comes to customers, it's all about offering best value. While we don't have a direct exposure to U.S., obviously the tariff concerns can raise prices, both here domestically as well as we export our products. So we are continually seeking to ensure that we bring best value. And one of the ways that we're doing that is by our private brands. Throughout Lotte Mart and Lotte Supermarket, which is our grocery chains, we have developed Yorihada, home-cooked meals, as well as Good Today, our private label brands, so that we can actually bring more competitive prices and value to our customers. At our Hi-Mart, which is our electronic appliance #1 leader in Korea, we have also launched a appliance private brand called Plux this year, again, to ensure that we can bring better value, particularly when the economy has been so difficult. In addition, we're also looking to export our private labels as well as our other brands, particularly across U.S. as well as in Asia. By doing so, we can further leverage all the demands across for K-beauty, K-foods, and other items which customers around the world seems to be craving.
Yeah, the point about exporting to the U.S., I mean, what are the concerns there, especially with, tariff plans still being hashed out between the U.S. and South Korea? And also in place of the U.S., or kind of to make up for perhaps any shortfall in the U.S., are there any parts of Southeast Asia that perhaps Lotte is turning its attention to?
Yeah, obviously, U.S. will be a more of a long-term project that we're working on. But in the interim, our big focus is here in Asia. We have a very strong foundation both in Vietnam as well as Indonesia, where we have a major grocery chain, as well as our shopping malls, which is serving customers. In fact, in Hanoi in 2023, we opened the Lotte Mall Westlake Hanoi, which has become the premier shopping experience, bringing more than 10 million people, in its first year, and it has done really well. In addition, we have just opened a partnership with FairPrice here in Singapore, the #1 retailer here, to ensure that we can also bring the Lotte Mart's experience. Here in Vivo City, we have opened a shop-in-shop with FairPrice, Lotte Mart Express, as well as we're bringing our, as mentioned before, our private label brands into over 100 FairPrice stores so that the customers in Singapore can also experience a bit of Korea here in their home market.
Yeah, so it does seem like you have your attention quite a bit on Singapore with the Lotte Mart Express, as you talked about. I mean, there's also Lotte Duty Free in Singapore. I mean, what role does Singapore play in Lotte Retail's broader strategy across Southeast Asia?
Yeah. In fact, not just for Southeast Asia, but I think for our international business, Singapore provides a significant availability of capability and accessibility. We're in the process of developing our international headquarters here in Singapore so that we can actually strategize our expansion plans, both for Southeast Asia as well as across other parts of the world. We're already selling our private label brands in a dozen countries, such as in Hong Kong, Mongolia, and other markets. We're looking forward to having a strong establishment here so that we can further accelerate our global expansions.
Right. And Sam, if I just get, word of advice from you, I mean, how should conglomerates like Lotte look at this new era of economic nationalism and tariff-driven trade barriers?
Yeah, no, obviously these remain key concerns, but at the end of the day, it's all about the customers. And as I stress with our organization, it's about creating a superior shopping experience so that the customers have the great environment, services, quality, and value, which can overcome any other challenges that we may have. So I start with the customers always first, looking at their insights, ensure that we can actually better meet their needs better than our competition. And that seems to be what's going to be sustaining our results over time.
All right, appreciate your time. Thank you for that, Samuel Sanghyun Kim. He is Vice Chairman and Group CEO at Lotte Retail Group.